What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new Madden Retro Rebuild, where we start in the 2012 season, go full a decade, 10 years to current day Madden, and try to build a dynasty. Today, I gotta get it done, man. Before we wrap up Madden 22 content, I had to get a Retro Rebuild in with my Eagles. They don't really need a rebuild. They are very good in 2012. This was... I feel like if I say it, I'm going to curse this video, but this was a team that had Vince Young and Ronnie Brown, and on the defensive side, we brought in Nnamdi Asomugha. There's a nickname for this team. It was a very dark spot, a very dark place in my Eagles history fandom, so we're going to turn that around. Obviously, throughout that 10-year period, Philly has been able to win a Super Bowl, and I would like to win more than one Super Bowl. So taking a look at our team, really the only player I took a little bit of liberty with was Michael Vick. Just because if you have Michael Vick, I always feel like Michael Vick, this is when he was good. He was a 93 overall. Maybe at his age wouldn't still be an X factor, but like you got to give Michael Vick a escape artist. Escape artist should be pretty much named after Michael Vick. So I would say, as an Eagle fan of this time, Vick's probably a superstar dev, but he needs X factor. He needs escape artist. So that's kind of what's happening there. We got LaShawn McCoy, 90 superstar. Deshaun Jackson, 92 superstar. We have Jeremy Maclin, and one of the most underrated Eagles of all time, Jason Avant, who will be our slot wide receiver. We have Brent Selleck, 84. Harriman's 90. This is the rookie season of Once Upon a Time. There was a Canadian 26-year-old rookie that was drafted by the Eagles in the first round. This is when, Andy Reid started to lose the plot here a little bit. And I would be Andy Reid a coach. I just had, we're sticking with Sirianni. He's too late. Already updated the roster. But Danny, well, I mean, from a Madden standpoint, a chance for him to get redemption. We have Jason Kelsey in his rookie season. He is a 78 superstar. Evan Mathis coming over. He was amazing for Philadelphia, like all-pro guard. And then I was actually surprised to see Jason Peters pretty low. I thought he was going to be 98, 99, somewhere in that range. He was low 90s, which is still perfectly fine for the bodyguard. Offensively, though, elite. There's no real weaknesses to this team. On the defensive side, it's a work in progress. The front four is not too bad. We got Brandon Graham, 77, Cullen Jenkins, Mike Patterson, and the great Trent Cole at right defensive end. We have the secondary, which is elite. Nnamdi Asomugha coming over as a big money free agent from the Raiders. He's a 96 superstar. He's actually a 98, but maybe it's my bias towards Asomugha that I didn't want to actually give him the full 98. Plus, that was his rating on the Raiders. I don't know if his rating took a little bit of a dip when he came to the Eagles. We got 94 superstar X Factor for Asante Samuel, one of the best ball hawk corners in NFL history. And then we get Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Philadelphia sent Kevin Call, backup quarterback to the Arizona Cardinals. Got a draft pick, got DRC, who was at 85. So, I mean, on paper, this should be a dominant secondary, even though Asomugha and Asante Samuel are in their 30s. We're not going to have them for the full 10. Might only get 2-3 seasons of them at their peak. Rest of the back end, not the best. Jaquan Jarrett. We have Nate Allen, who's solid, 78. I think he's only 23. So, I mean, there's definitely a developmental guy there. Would love for him to get a dev trait sooner than later. The linebacking core is the absolute shit, so we are going to have to, especially early on, prioritize drafting linebackers. I mean, I always thought, you get Casey Matthews, his brother Clay Matthews. He was always just average at best. Foku was kind of average. I thought Jamar Chaney was actually kind of decent. I think he's now a coach on the Florida Gators. But yeah, man, it's pretty obvious when you look at this team where we need to get better, where we need to draft, where we need to prioritize all that. But ultimately, the team that we have right now, as we gear up for year 1 of 10, I am absolutely optimistic that really every year, all 10 seasons, we should be playoff contenders. We should have Super Bowl aspirations. So without further ado, let's get into year number 1. And for all other suggestions, I might have time to get one more retro rebuild in. I had to get the Eagles one in. I'm not going to finish. But if there's one more retro rebuild that we've yet to do that you think is a must-do before we wrap up here this Madden 22 season, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll be scouring through it. I will go with whatever is the most upvoted. It's going to be a community decision, a hive mind type decision. The most requested will probably, like 90%, get a retro rebuild before we're done. I probably got one more in me, though, before I'm done. So make sure your voices are heard. Now, let's get into year 1 of this Philadelphia Eagles retro rebuild. For our first extension period, fairly expensive, but I think we did some pretty good business. We got Evan Mathis. I actually gave him a 4-year deal. Anytime you get especially a lineman of this capability, easier until he retires for the most part. I actually gave Deshaun Jackson a 6-year $103 million contract extension, get him till he's 30. I got Mike Patterson on a 3-year, 4-year deal offered to Brent Selke. He didn't accept it. I'll go up a little bit more, and we'll make sure we can lock down the underrated tight end. At the end of year 1, we had a first-round bye, so we're live in the divisional round, a team that Philly has had a lot of playoff success against. The Minnesota Vikings are our opponent, but I mean, absolute juggernaut of a team, as expected. I've told you, this is not a, oh man, the Eagles kind of stink, let's turn around. No, this is, I want to play with my favorite team in this era, in this format. We absolutely crushed it year 1, 15-2. The super team, the dream team, whatever you want to call it, off to a rocking start. Take a look at the big picture stats. Michael Vick, 3rd in passing leaders. We also have, that's it, really. It's just a team effort at this point. We probably had a bunch of guys top 10, top 5, but 4,900 passing yards. I mean, we're just Philly playbook, Philly defense right now. Jalen Hurts doesn't put up these kind of numbers. 49, 40, and 8. I mean, obviously, probably that'd be the best passing numbers of Michael Vick's career. 12 and 11 for LaShawn McCoy. 386 yards, 8 touchdowns for Mike. He got to be MVP. 48 total touchdowns. God damn. Receiving, we got 12 and 12 Deshaun Jackson, 12 and 7 Jerry Maclin, 1,009 for Jason Avant, 8-9 for Brent Selleck, and almost 400 yards on the through the air for LaShawn McCoy. 102 tackles for Jamar Chaney, 16 sacks for Trent Cole, 11 for Colin Jenkins, 11 for Brandon Graham, 9.5 for Mike Patterson. So all 4 guys on the D-line getting after it. Yeah, I would have expected between Nnamdi, Asante, and DRC to have more picks, but I mean, you know, picks don't always equate to a great secondary. I think what would bode well is, like, I want to see what our passing defense is. Michael Vick is the MVP, rightfully so. He's also the Offensive Player of the Year. Looking at the rest of the awards, Michael Vick, Quarterback of the Year. Jason Peters, Lineman of the Year. And I'm just gonna say, with my stack corner, this is like as good of a corner. I mean, the safeties kind of stink, but you know, that's pretty good, all things considered. 16th in terms of passing yards per game. And you'd assume that if we had a better safety duo, that might be a little bit higher. So let's see if we can go on a run. Better not be one and done, which is often the fate when you are a very overpowered team. And we're able to handle the Minnesota Vikings 27-21, going to the championship game against the Lance Briggs, Matt Forte, Brian Urlacher, Chicago Bears. Offensively, the Bears shouldn't be able to compete with us, but maybe they can figure out how to stop and contain Michael Vick, which they do. 31-17. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, right. All right, so the thing about playing with the Eagles in a retro rebuild sense is that we have all the Eagles draft picks. So we have 3 first-round picks in this first draft. And, you know, I can either kick them down the road and, you know, not have 3. And I just feel like let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get it over with. We somehow have the number 1 pick, which is outstanding. I also have the number 9 pick. What I think I'm going to do, actually, I don't know who I'm going to pick with my number 1 pick. But with that 9 pick, I'm going to probably try to trade number 9 and something to maybe get number 5 or 6 so that I can get Fletcher Cox, the actual draft pick from the 2012 class, because we need a D tackle, and obviously Fletch is an absolute great. But for the first overall pick, I think, honestly, we just have fun with it. We make what is the best pick that we need given our team's needs. You know my team needs. We have nothing at linebacker. Absolutely nothing at linebacker. You could argue maybe safety a little bit, strong safety, but linebacker is bared. All our linebackers are 70, I think 72 is the best of the bunch. And what do we got for linebacker in this year's draft? Oh, okay. Might as well. Unreal. It was pick. I was like, we can get this. We're not going to have to trade for Fletcher Cox. Oh, that is such a kick in the dick. God damn it. Should have done it, man. Should have, now we got that pick 30. That pick 30 better be able to compensate, because right now we will go a Dontari Poe, who still should be a pretty decent player. Does have the dev trait, S-tier type freak athlete. I would have just loved to. Let's go in hindsight, man. Whoever we can get in 30, will that and combined with Dontari Poe make up for not getting Fletcher Cox? We'll find out. So I'm in a rough spot right here, because now we sit at pick 30. And if you take a look at our lineup, so we've got Luke Kuechly, linebacker. He's going to start middle linebacker over Jamar Chaney. Look at our 2 linebackers. We have Chaney's a 72, Clayton's a 68, Casey Matthews is a 73. We need, and of the whole team, those I could probably go linebacker, be a good draft. So we have Luke Kuechly in there. We missed out on Fletch by 1 pick. And, like, you're supposed to be able to trust the projections when you do the mock draft. Fletch was supposed to go, like, 12, 13. Goes at 7 or 8 or whatever it was. Oh, that's pissing me off. But we got Dontari Poe, who's going to be, you know, a long-term success. So we still need another linebacker. Could maybe argue safety potentially, but we need a linebacker. And my dilemma is, after the Luke Kuechly selection, when you look at the top linebacker that's still there, it gets pretty cheesy. Bobby Wagner. You got Melvin Ingram on the other side, but I mean, that's a complete wash. And there's no other, like, you know, when you get to 2-3, if I get a round 2 projection, I would do it. But again, Levante David would be pretty freaking cheesy, almost as cheesy as Bobby Wagner. And then around outside linebacker, you got Michael Kendricks, who actually was a pick of the Philadelphia Eagles, but at 2-3, I don't want to be burning a first-round pick on a 2-3 guy. And if I do, it's going to be Bobby Wagner. So, you know what? Let's have a look. It's my rebuild. This is my rebuild. This is C4 playing as the Eagles. Let's go. Sweater draft. In a perfect world, maybe it wouldn't have ended up being this good, because if I would have been able to get Fletcher Cox at pick 9, I might have been like, let's kind of be like the Eagles and let's get, you know, Michael Kendricks in the first round. Let's bring back 2. But because I got pissed off because the game robbed me of Fletcher Cox, I had to get Dontari Poe. So first of all, Luke Kuechly, 81 hidden dev. You know that dev's going to be pretty good. Dontari Poe, 76 hidden dev. Unlike Fletcher Cox, that dev's probably a silver, where Fletch probably superstar. Actually, I know Fletcher Cox is a superstar, and I'm pretty sure Dontari Poe is a star. But then we were able to follow it up with Bobby Wagner. So we have Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly, 2 generational linebackers in our first draft. So I felt like the only way to do this fair is, like, if we're going to dominate, if we're always going to be trying to, like, maximize our first-round pick or optimize our first-round picks throughout this, I'm not going to be drafting the steals, you know, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I'll just kind of fill out the depth chart, get some solid guys. We got Wilbur, Jared Crick, Adrian Robinson, Sinio Kelementi, Greg Van Roten, Bryce Brown, and we finished up in the 7th round. Brian Anger, like, I think went in, like, the 2nd or 3rd round. He was still there, so we get a brand new punter there, 72, but, you know, that's those are home runs right there to a team that was already, what were we, 15-2 last year, and we get 2 of the greatest linebackers of all time. Let's go. Nothing too crazy with extensions, but obvious ones we had to make. 5 years for LaShawn McCoy, got 4 years for Harriman, you run your lineman into the ground, and a 3-year deal for Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Year 2, same success, our 2nd straight NFC East title, 14-3, so a win less than what we had a year ago, but I mean, this team is hitting the ground running, and in the division round, we take on the Seattle Seahawks. Looking at the stats, Michael Vick was a top 3 passer. We also have Trent Cole with 21 sacks, making the top 3. Huge year to Tom Bahali, shattering the sack record. So full kudos to him, but very good performance. Michael Vick, 3rd in yards, 12th in touchdowns. Not bad. Only 4 picks. 12 and 14 there for LaShawn McCoy. 4 and 8. You know what? I never really thought of Philly having like a good scramble quarterback playbook, but things have worked out very well. Also, it's Michael freaking Vick. 1,400 yards for Deshaun Jackson, 13 and 10 for Jeremy Maclin. And on the defensive side, Luke Kuechly, 141 tackles, 12 TFLs. Bobby Wagner, 126 tackles, 4 TFLs, 3 sacks, 2 picks. Luke Kuechly, X Factor. Bobby Wagner, X Factor. Dontari Poe, got 21 sacks for Trent Cole. Poe actually had a hell of a year. 59 tackles, 16 TFLs, 7 sacks. He is a star dev, but if he keeps playing like that, that dev trait is going to shoot up. 4 picks between Asante Samuel and Nnamdi Asomugha. And you know what? There's a downside. There's going to come a point we're going to have to probably pay, Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly at the same time. It's going to get very expensive. Michael Vick wins his 2nd straight MVP award, obviously aided by those rushing numbers, but he's been also sensational. Defensive rookie there goes to Bobby Wagner over Luke Kuechly, but our 3 picks right there in a line, and there's no Fletcher Cox to be seen. His loss, not ours. Michael Vick is quarterback of the year. Evan Mathis, lineman of the year. And Alex Henry, kicker of the year. Cool. Remember that guy? Remember we drafted him like mid-round? He was like the most accurate college kicker and was not as bad as Roberto Aguayo, but pretty close in terms of like S-tier college kicker, below average in the NFL. First round of the playoffs, we knock out the Seattle Seahawks 35-7, and it is an instant revenge game in the conference championship as we take on the Chicago Bears, who won the Super Bowl last year. They beat us in the NFC Championship game, and this time we invoke our revenge. 31-28, the Philadelphia Eagles in year 2 are going to the Super Bowl, and it's against the 9-8 Miami Dolphins. There's no way we can lose this one. Obviously, it's way too early in the video to hop in and play the moments because that will almost certainly crash the video. I don't want to go full 10 years. I don't want to only go 2 years. So I'm not worried even if we lose. We got a lot more years like this to come. But we should clearly win. We can't lose to the Dolphins, and it is a dominant Super Bowl victory for the... I already know I'm loving this. Year 2, we're already the best team in the league. And it's going to be now my... now we got a little bit of a challenge. We got to maintain this. Asante Samuel is the Super Bowl MVP as the Eagles defense absolutely dominates there. Let's get a little bit of a box score here. 34-3. Michael Vick, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. We got 124 yards, LaShawn McCoy. And on the defensive side of the ball, we got 2 sacks for Dontari Poe. We got the big interception here from Asante Samuel. I mean, the 1 pick gets you... It almost feels like that's what happens. You get the 1 pick, you get the MVP in the Super Bowl. But that is Super Bowl 1. So we've equaled what Philly did in this real-life 10-year time. Now let's get 2. Let's get 3. Let's get 4. Let's get 5. Let's be the Patriot dynasty. We weren't able to get our safety last year, but we can get our safety this year at pick 32. We're going to select first, second round projection. Kenny Vaccaro, and at 6 feet, 215, absolutely has the size and build to be able to play strong safety in our scheme. This draft's obviously not going to be as good as the last draft, but still getting a hidden dev here in Kenny Vaccaro. That's a hit we will take to the back end of the defense. We got Kayvon Webster, 71 normal. That's actually a pretty good rating for him. We got A.J. Klein, depth, middle linebacker, and then really just filled out the rest of the depth chart there. But happy with Vaccaro, and hopefully he's going to be an immediate impact starter for the back end of this defense. So the downside of being this good this early in the rebuild is our salary cap is a mess. So we get Asante Samuel, Trent Cole re-signed the veterans. Then it comes to the younger players. We got 3, really even Nate Allen at $25.83 worth of contract extension. I will be able to extend Jason Kelce. We just don't have the money for Macklin. It's going to be like real life. Yeah, you have Deshaun Jackson, Jerry Macklin. You can keep one. Of course, Jerry Macklin just went up from star to superstar last season, and he's a terrific player. But you can't pay everybody. And we have more cover at wide receiver. It's easier to replace a wide receiver than it would be to, get a corner, at least, short-term deal. Maybe in hindsight, I might have not, re-signed Asante Samuel and maybe seen if we could try Jeremy Macklin. But after we lock in Kelce, we're going to be losing Nate Allen and Jerry Macklin. So at least it gives us something to try to fix in the upcoming offseason. We're going to immediately have to try to find a wide receiver, too, for this offense. Year 3, we go 16-1. I got to figure out who the 1 was. I actually remember because it was right when I was simming the contracts. It happened between the week that I told you guys about who we re-signed. Yeah, it's way down here. The Niners beat us by 2. The perfect I don't think I've got a 17-0 this year. Couple 16-1s, few and far between. Happy that we got it. Probably the most dangerous record you could have in a Madden sim because we're probably going to get done in by a team that's 1 game above 500 here in the first round. But absolute domination from the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Michael Vick starting to slow down a little bit from yards. Touchdowns are great, though. 36 touchdowns. 14 and 15 there from LaShawn McCoy. On the receiving end, 11 and 11 for Deshaun Jackson. As you can see, man, Macklin, under 1,000 yards, it's not going to be a death sentence that we can't re-sign Jeremy Macklin. It might be better for our team long-term. We got those veterans on the short-term deals so that, when other contracts come up, we can afford to pay, the Bobby Wagners and Luke Kuechly's. Both Kuechly and Wagner had great seasons. 15 sacks BG, 14 Mike Patterson, 13.5 from Trent Cole. 5 picks, Nnamdi Asomugha, 3 there from Asante Samuel. I think, we got to keep that balance. I think, again, if you give that money to Jeremy Macklin, well, yes, he might be a little bit more upside because he's only 25. Got to keep that balance of the big contracts on offense and defense. That's why we're doing so well. Jonathan Stewart wins the MVP. Michael Vick is the runner-up. Looking at the rest of the awards here, Michael Vick is the quarterback of the year. Jason Peters is the lineman of the year. And I actually thought Nnamdi Asomugha might have a shot there at DB of the year. But here we go, 16-1. Can we avoid being 1 and done? I do not. It's honestly, it should be 80-20 that we win. It's 50-50 at best. And of course, fuck this game. I'm doing this blind. You know what we lost? We lost a wide receiver. We lost a safety. Annoying that Clinton Dix just went because he probably would have been one of our top options if he was there because we got to get a Nate Allen replacement. But what do we got? So at free safety / just safety in general, we got Deion Buchanan, Jimmy Ward, or we can look at Calvin Pryor, LaMarcus Joyner. Pryor's actually a guy that I really... Actually, I might make this pick at the wide receiver set, because Calvin Pryor was a guy that I wanted Philly to get. I thought he could be a guy stylistically, could bring that Brian Dawkins. He was a big-time hitter at Louisville. But here we go. What's available at wide receiver? I have no idea. It could be absolute junk, but if it's a baller, that is what our pick's going to be. All right, so we are getting... I'm not going to lie. I might have actually got Kelvin Benjamin. We're going to get Calvin Pryor there. No dev trade. You know, again, we're keeping the checks and balances. We had Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner in one draft. Last year's draft wasn't really anything crazy outside of Vaccaro, kind of an average, modest draft. And, you know, this one here, I think after this draft, we can go back to maybe making a cheesy pick here or there. Calvin Pryor, welcome to Philly. In the second round, I was going to just like, you know what? He was honestly, you know, underrated in Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews comes with a dev. Let's go. So look at our draft here. We got Calvin Pryor in the first round of the 2014 draft. Jordan Matthews, 65, has the dev trait. Brandon Linder, Ed Reynolds, who I actually think was a pick of the Eagles this year. Flowers, got Chris Boswell to be our starting kicker. He's a hell of a kicker. And then the computer, I literally sent this on Tyler Patman, 72. Seems like a very generous kind of random rating, but we'll take it. Year 4, here's what our team looks like. Michael Vick has regressed a little bit, but he's honestly, for his age, maintaining his rating fairly well. 94 X Factor, 99 for Shady, 99 X Factor for Deshaun Jackson. At wide receiver, we'll bump Jordan Matthews up to wide receiver 2. The computer signed us Cole Beasley for whatever it's worth. Straight up looks like my brother for the most part. He'll be our wide receiver 3 for the time being. Offense is the exact same. Defensively, you know, again, very, very familiar if you've been kind of following along here. Front 7 is exactly the same. We got Pryor. You know, you probably could get Jaquan Jarrett going there. I just want Pryor to kind of be a thing. So maybe we'll force that in. But the third safety's on the field a decent amount anyways. We got Ashwa, Sante Samuel, DRC there as well. I don't know if we're going to go 16-1. We've lost a couple pieces, but absolutely see 10, 11, 12 wins as this team's floor here in year 4. Our salary cap is still incredibly limited, but at least we're able to get the 2 must-have extensions this season. We got Jason Peters on a 2-year, and actually gave Brandon Graham a 4-year deal. We have just about $10 million in salary cap, so that will cover our rookie draft class here for the 2015 class. Year 4 was a little more difficult, I guess, but 14-3, we found a way to endure. I mean, our team's still S tier, 93 overall. Look at the stats for the squad. We got Asante Samuel back where he belongs. Top of the interception leaderboard. 6 picks, 9 PBUs. Michael Vick, 6th in yards, top 5 in touchdowns, 38-5. Outstanding. 13-14 Shady. We got 11-15 for the rookie, Jordan Matthews. He might be able to go up to superstar. He actually has a face scan. That's dope. Cole Beasley, 11-7. He's a 69. Deshaun, 11-7. So real, you know, we got more production this year, and we're down a guy that was like a 95 superstar wide receiver in Jerry Maclin. Massive years of Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, just absolutely, you know, the nucleus of our defense. 14.5 sacks, BG, 11.5 there for Trent Cole. Sante Samuel, 6 interceptions. Fun ways to win, man. You know, Michael Vick is the MVP. That is his 3rd MVP award of this rebuild. Awesome. Loving this. Clearly, this is my favorite video of all time. Look at the rest of the awards. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jordan Matthews. Quarterback of the Year goes to Michael Vick. Jason Kelsey is the Lineman of the Year. Asante Samuel is the Defensive Back of the Year. I mean, really, right now, the only thing that can hurt our team, we get everyone signed up, so we'll be good for next year, is just obviously, yes, the salary cap's getting very tight, and some of our players are due to start regressing. Michael Vick, Asante Samuel, Trent Cole, but 51-7. 4 touchdowns, Michael Vick. 5 total. Unstoppable. It's unstoppable. Now we got the Bears, a team we've met twice already in the playoffs in this rebuild. I know a little bit of a mini rivalry, NFC rivalry going on here. Able to get the best of them. Now we're in the NFC Championship game against the Saints. Saints are always a tough assignment. Very good in the sim. Got a lot going for that playbook, but not enough to stop and deny us as we are looking for our 2nd Super Bowl. That was my goal, honestly. If I could get 2 Super Bowls in this 10-year retro rebuild, be a little bit ahead of where Philadelphia is in real life, I'd be happy. And next, we got the 10-7 Chargers. led by Eric Weddle and company. Let's spend our upgrades here just to make sure we got the full strength squad. Jordan Matthews, did he go up dev? Is he superstar? He had a huge year. I think based off of his numbers, he might have gone up dev trade. No, unfortunately, he's still stuck on the old star dev there. That's rather unfortunate, but I mean, for a rebuild that everything's gone our way so far for the most part, you know, pick and choose what you're going to complain about. Here are the Super Bowl against the Chargers, and we get it. Our second Super Bowl, 31-28, very close. Kenny Vaccaro at strong seat, so I assume he probably had an interception of some sort, is the difference maker in that massive matchup there. Let's take a look at the old schedule and see just what happened here in this Super Bowl. You know, I'm going to assume just average games if Carl's winning the MVP. No touchdowns for Michael Vick. He did have the rushing touchdown. You can't deny him. You can't keep him up. But yeah, offensively for 31 points, not very impressive. Defensively, had the pick for Vaccaro. What did our scoring cover? I'd love to see a scoring summary. Like, did the kicker have like 9 field goals? I mean, yeah, a good... Whatever. Ain't gonna complain. Second Super Bowl, and we're not even at year 5 yet. Did have a retirement. Sante Samuel and Cullen Jenkins both going out on top with a Super Bowl. So it gives us a little bit of wiggle room in terms of salary cap. We're up to, we literally had, I think, $4 million of salary cap. Now we're up to $34 million. We're not signing anybody in free agency anyway, but at least it makes keeping this team together a little bit easier. Free agency, nothing of upgrade for the positions of need. We got Darren Sproles here on the open market, and just, you gotta, you know, we got, that money's not, that salary, this little bit of chunk is not gonna hurt us whatsoever. Let's bring back another one of the great core Eagle players from our actual Super Bowl victory. So with the first pick in our draft, which is 32, we had to wait. You could argue wide receiver. You could also argue probably not wide receiver. Cole Beasley still had 1,000 yards last year. You know, we need a D tackle. We could look at third corner. We could look at an outside linebacker. So I'd say D tackles are our biggest need because we just couldn't pay any of our other D tackles. Don't know what the board's going to look like here at pick 32. Preston Smith just went off the board. So look at that. So we had wide receiver. We could, I mean, you know, you could do a lot worse. I could definitely pull the trigger on Aguilar, I suppose. We're saved D tackle for last because that's our biggest need. Outside linebacker, Muldoon, no. You go Denzel Perryman. I won't go Kendricks. That's a little too cheesy of a pick. But Perryman. We got Jordan Hicks. You know, I could actually probably live with the reaching for Jordan Hicks here. I think I'd rather Jordan Hicks than Nelson Aguilar, all things considered. I think it's also practical because Cole Beasley got 1,000 yards. Don't have to improve that. D tackle, though. Okay, so third corner. Senquez Golson, nah, you know, not really. Got Darby, who was a member of the Eagles. We could go there. D tackle's the big one. We got big old Eddie Goldman. I don't know if he has a dev trait, but Eddie Goldman, that's good enough for me to surpass the Eagles. I hope he has a dev. He does. You know, we had to do that, man. Our second starting D tackle was a 62 overall. Jordan Hicks still on the board in the second round. One of my favorite Eagles of, I don't want to say favorite Eagles of all time, but I'm a big fan. I thought he was really good in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, the injuries and got an absolute bag to leave us to go join the Cardinals. But I was always a big fan of Jordan Hicks. Happy to get him in the second round. And a draft recap. Goldman and Hicks were my 2 picks. I simmed it out after that. See what the computer. We got Burton at fullback 68. That's actually not too bad. But all things considered, as the draft, kind of the shits. But 2 hidden dev players, kind of, you know, that's the norm. That's what you want. That's my expectations. That's what we got. Extensions, it got tight near the end, but able to get everybody that we wanted to. Bobby Wagner on a massive 6-year, 107. I probably should have moved him back to middle linebacker and got a little bit more of a off-ball linebacker contract. But I mean, also $107 million if he even was a middle linebacker for a 97 X Factor 25. Probably not that bad of a price. I got DRC on a 2-year and Nnamdi on a 1-year. Brent Selleck actually went down to a 3-year deal and he took it. Don Terry Poe on a 5-year deal. Danny Watkins on a 1-year deal. Get about $10 million bucks. So again, just enough salary cap to cover the 2016 draft class. Year 5 kind of finishes as a nothing season. 3rd place, tied for 2nd, whatever way you want to cut it. Not good enough for a team that is a fringe 90 overall squad. So we'll quickly just kind of see maybe why we played well. Michael Vick, you know, maybe 36 is the age that he's got to start to slow down, and we need to start considering maybe, you know, there's different options here at the quarterback spot. I don't know what class. What are we at? The 26 2016 class. Is that Winston Mariota? We know James Winston can be an absolute dog. I wish, you know, maybe we had a Chip Kelly and make Mariota. You know, and we're not bad enough to make that kind of move. So we might have to get a little bit more creative with what we do with the quarterback spot going forward. You know, big year of LaShawn McCoy, 1,100 yards, 19 touchdowns, 1,000 for Matthews, 1,000 for Selleck. Love Djax to get over 1,000. Why is he our third option? Bobby Wags, Luke Kuechly. I mean, again, is what it is. These guys are freaks of nature. 13 and a half sacks, Dontari Poe. Trent Cole, you know, much like Michael Vick on the offensive side of the ball, starting to get a little bit of regression. He's getting old. He's not as limber as he once was. 3 picks there for the ageless wonder, Nnamdi Asomugha. Let's just quick turnaround here. Maybe we'll be a little bit more active. Okay, I say this. Maybe I'll be a little bit more active in free agency. Either A, there's no one good in free agency. That's been a common theme throughout any of these retro videos. It's just how it is. Or B, there is a good guy, and it doesn't matter how much I pay them. Unless I'm literally like doubling what the recommended fair offer is, I'm not landing any top targets in free agency. It's brutal. We had $9 million available salary cap. I simmed to the next week. We had $30 million available salary cap. Darren Sproles has retired. We only had him for a year, but at least we had him. But more importantly, Nnamdi Asomugha. Things I never thought I would say, but he was actually very good for us in this rebuild. He is also retired. So we got to replace corner 1 and really just a lot of guys on offense. Free agency, very quickly, T.Y. Hilton. I think the idea of T.Y. Hilton and Sean Jackson, 2 very prolific deep threats, that could be pretty dangerous. You have Jordan Matthews working the slot. And then more so, this is just the kind of bids that I've been making and losing out on more often than not. Tremaine Johnson, see, I'm considerably ahead of the second best team. He would be a big get, good, solid replacement for Nnamdi Asomugha. And I probably won't even have a chance to get him. He's going to go to the Vikings for some reason. Holy shit, we got both of them. We're turning a new leaf here. I was mistaken. 2016 draft. That is the Carson Wentz, Jared Goff year. And I feel like that'd be too weird, right? Like, generally speaking, I don't dislike Dak Prescott, even though everything in my body is saying you should hate this guy just because he's down. You know, I've evolved enough to a fan that, like, I can enjoy players on rival teams and still absolutely despise it. And Dak kind of falls in that. He seems like a good guy. But that's, you know, for the context of this, yeah, it's a little too weird for me. So we'll go another year with Mike Vick as our quarterback. So I wanted to move up in the draft. I mean, this is just, I was like, all right, I'm going to offer, I picked 14, so just outside, not a brutal pick. And I'm going to throw a second and just start and work my way down. I was fully expecting I'd get to like pick 6 or 7 before anyone expected. Number 3, the Cardinals took me up on this offer. So I will get ahead of this right away and say, like, I was just literally I was 85% sure they were going to decline this. And they actually took it. So, you know, I mean, that's just what you do. I was literally looking at teams 3 to 6. I was like, all right, let's offer them a first and a second, see if we can move up. And I did not expect team 1 to take that. But, I don't know. I was actually kind of hoping they didn't, so it made it very clear who we were going to draft. It's one of these 2. I traded up for Bosa. You have Ramsey. We need a corner right. I mean, how... I actually think we might have to go Bosa. We're gonna talk this one out here just 1 second. I have to hold you up here, but I need to at least speak this out into existence and see if we can make the right call. So defensively, we have Brandon Graham pass rush. He's 28. He's getting up there in age a little bit. More so, I'm worried about this guy, Trent Cole, 85 for the time being. We just got Johnson. DRC is 30. So I mean, he's gonna start to regress. I really don't think you can go wrong with either one of those options. My head's saying Ramsey. My gut is saying Bosa. Let's go corner. Let's go corner. We just lost, guy, you know. Why is my controller fucking not working? All right, Jalen Ramsey. Welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles. So just looking at a draft recap, trading up for Jalen Ramsey, 83. You know, the dev trade is going to be least gold, if not outright an X Factor, which would be pretty freaking good. I got Matt Judon in the 3rd round. Hitting a pass rusher. He's the best pass rusher on the board. Unfortunately, that is a very, very difficult starting spot. 59 overall. He gets 59, but something known as Gerald Hawkins gets a 74. Durango 71. We got Jakeem Grant in the 7th. I actually think he usually has a dev trait. which he does. I was all computer. I did make the Judon pick. Thought it might be a little cheesy. It was not. I also want to see, did we make the right call between him and Bosa? I don't like exposing what the ratings look like, because obviously we're going to come back to it at some point. Like maybe there'll be a rebuild where we want Joey Bosa. Now we know that he's going to be a 75 with a hidden F. So all in all, we made the right call going Jalen Ramsey, at least in terms of getting the best player. Year 6 is a quick look at our team, because it could be the last year of the Michael Vick. I mean, it's just one of those things, he might retire. We got Shady 99, D-Jack 99. We brought in T.Y. Hilton in free agency. Jordan Matthews, get Jakeem Grant back end of the roster there. Good, dangerous special teamer. O-line, all familiar faces. Same with Selleck at tight end. Defensively, BG, Goldman, Poe, and Trent Cole. We got Judon here as the long-term developmental project. Hicks, Kuechly, and Wagner making up a pretty scary linebacker core. Pryor and Vaccaro at safety. DRC, Teron Johnson, who much like T.Y. Hilton, makes up our best free agency class. We're the only two guys that have actually chosen to accept our contract. And then, of course, Jalen Ramsey, corner, one long-term franchise lockdown, shutdown corner. Let's go. Actually, pretty good. I think we're 5-2 at the midway point. So now let's look for contract extensions. Luke Kuechly, 6 years, $102 million deals. Didn't have to think twice. Evan Mathis, I gave him actually a 2-year deal. Let's get him to retires. Michael Vick, re-up on a 1-year till he retires, much like pretty much everybody on this offensive line. And Trent Cole. Want these guys here till the end of time. We will probably move on from Danny Watkins, however, as much as, you know what? Nah, we can move on. You know what? Week 9, I'll offer him the 1 year. If he takes it, you'll see him right next year. If not, best of luck fighting fires. Year 6 ends the way Year 5 did. Not a brutal record, but tied for second in the division of a very good NFC East this year. Dallas on the bottom where they belong. But, you know, 92 overall, I guess, is too inconsistent to make the play. Michael Vick was solid, 34 touchdowns, top 10 quarterback this year at 36 years old. Decent year out of Shady. D-Jack over 1,000, 10 touchdowns there for Jordan Matthews. Didn't get a great return on investment in T.Y. Hilton year 1. Do think that is down to, you know, passing offense not being what it once was. Wagner and Kuechly crushing it. Wagner with 4 picks. Trent Cole, 11.5 sacks. Aegis Wonder, Dontari Poe, 24 TFLs, 9.5 QB sacks. Happy with that. Even BG, 9 sacks. Not too bad. But, what's going on here? Jalen Ramsey, no picks? It's a little disappointing. Yearly awards, MVP, Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know why I'm looking at this. We're definitely not going to have anybody. What a brutal year. We got crushed with retirements yet again as Jason Peters and Todd Hermans, the Todd father, left and right tackles, both retiring. Damn. Massive bids yet again on 2 targets. I want Honey Badger and Taron Armstead on the offensive line just to know if we get shunned by both. That's ridiculous. Oh, we're on fire. Cooking with, I actually might move Honey Badger to free safety. Not sure yet, but Taron Armstead, that's a terrific replacement for Jason Peters. Oh no, not Derek Barnett. I want to rerun that draft pick back. All right, so we're pick 18 in the 2017 draft. And I was going to say, I need a right tackle. I could use a Trent Cole replacement. Or I let the computer handle the you know, that's a walk-off home run type pick right there in the first round. I let the computer, and we hooked us up. Got Raekwon McMillan in the second round, normal down. I had no other devs, but Alex Angeloni, Marlon Mack, Will Holden. Marlon Mack might have a dev. I wouldn't be shocked if he does. He does. But Mahomes still being on the board at 18 is absolutely ridiculous. Got to do, you know, don't got to twist my arm to make that move. Especially over the other piece of shit. Had to pick between the two. Easy call. Going with Patty. So Mahomes' dev already got unveiled. It's Superstar. That's pretty surprising, to be completely honest with you. I thought it would be a different color. But gold is a lot better than silver. We can get Marlon Mack in here at... oh my god, man. This controller is so shot. Dude, what the fuck? All right. So So we got, let's go on the keyboard and mouse here. Jesus. All right, tick, tickety, tick, tick. Got a hack into the mainframe. We'll go Michael Vick, and we'll kind of treat Patrick Mahomes like he did in Kansas City as a rookie in real life, where, you know, he sat behind Alex Smith for a season. And hopefully, Michael Vick can go off to the sunset. Dontari Poe went out to an X Factor. Jalen Ramsey was a straight-up X Factor out the gate. We got Honey Badger here at corner 2. DRC must have retired. I did not. I must have missed that. It must have been a late retirement. So I'm actually glad we got the Honey Badger. I thought maybe with Calvin Pryor, I didn't pick up his 5th-year option. We could kick Honey Badger into free safety, but at least, you know, we got that flexibility. Right now, though, he will play at corner. I'll probably put him in the slot and Teron Johnson on the outside, but ultimately, very good team here. 2 back-to-back seasons, 16 and 17, that we did not make the playoffs. We are now going into the year Madden 18, if you will. It's time to get back there. So for extensions time, I got Deshaun Jackson on a 4-year. Shady up 5 out of 29 years old for a running back is not the best, but there's only, we got 3 more years after this. He's probably still going to be like high 80s. I think we can win with that. I got Vaccaro on a 5-year, Jordan Matthews on a 4-year, Calvin Pryor, especially because of the retirement to DRC. He's fine as a starting free safety, and maybe if he can trigger a dev trait sooner than later, I'll age a little bit better. But our team right now is 3-5 at the midway point. We got Patrick Mahomes sitting, waiting for his opportunity. If Michael Vick makes the playoffs, you know, we'll see. But as it stands right now, we're very much on the outside looking in for the playoffs. It might be time to just rip that Band-Aid off. Thank you for your MVPs. Thank you for the Super Bowls. But, you know, you're 38. Come on. Hang them up, Michael. Go work for Fox. Year 7, we go 9-8, second in the East. This time we managed to squeak into the playoffs. It'd be cool if we can go on a run. One last hurrah with Michael Vick as we, it all would start by taking down the Dallas Cowboys. Looking at our stats, love seeing Nick Foles up there. Top 3 passer. You see, though, with Michael Vick, it's a tie. It's time. We're going to give you one last hurrah. I'll give you respect. And in the final 3 years of this rebuild, it'll be Patty Mahomes trying to crush this goddamn league and get us into the playoffs. Win us an Impact Bowl or Super Bowl or something. 1,100 yards. We got 1,000 for Brent Selleck. On the defensive side, Luke Kuechly. Jordan Hicks actually stepping up in a big way. BG, 15 sacks, 13.5. We used Bobby Wagner at a real special blitzing role this year. He was very effective doing so, kind of like a safety blitz, if you will. 4 picks, Jordan Hicks leading the team. We don't got any award winners, let's be honest. We don't want to waste our time with that. Let's see if we can beat Dallas. Can Michael Vick, at minimum, give us a little bit of magic to send the Dallas Cowboys home 1 and done? Of course we do, because that's what we do. Now we're in the division. I don't even care. Playing with house money. If the last thing Michael Vick can offer to this rebuild is the 1 seed or the division winning Dallas Cowboys going 1 and done in the playoffs, we'll take that. I appreciate you, Michael Vick. I hope he retires so he doesn't go somewhere else. But thank you for everything you did. Tackle and or guard is where we're looking for the draft right now. We got Colton Miller. That's a pretty strong top dog. Will Hernandez. Frank Ragdow. Probably the best lineman, but that's pushing it. That'd be a little cheesy just to get him and move him into guard. Braden Smith is solid. Austin Corbett. I think we are going to go with Colton Miller, and we'll kick him on to the right-hand side. Does have a dev tray. That's sick. So for the draft, don't really pay attention to the ratings. This is the 2018 draft, which I always got to like. Here's an example. I have 70 strength and 68 strength for my 2 linemen. The ratings usually go down, but we'll keep posting. I got Colton Miller here, who's going to be a starting tackle. Wyatt Teller, who's really good, but kind of caught on late in his career. A little worried that he wouldn't have a dev trait. He does not have a dev trait, but he will be able to probably compete for that right guard spot. Simmed out the rest of the draft from that. A couple okay picks, but nothing too crazy. Contract extension time. We got Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham, Trumaine Johnson locked up for the remainder of the rebuild, as well as Eddie Goldman and Jordan Hicks. Brent Selleck wants a 3-year deal. You know, again, it's kind of like the Michael Vick. Appreciate you, but that's just, it can't, come on, man. No, thank you. We did get Trent Cole back on a 1-year deal. More of a veteran role, still won't prevent us from maybe going edge rusher, depending on who's available in the first round. Year 1 of the Mahomes era, a.k.a. year number 8. Rookie learning curve, if you will, if that's what you want to say. Mariota, Nick Foles. Don't like seeing 2 quarterbacks that are, kind of linked with the Eagles. Different capacities being that well. Mahomes, it's year 1. Shady was okay. You know, 3,000-yard receivers is good. Flipping to the defense. My God, this controller, I just, you know, thank God. I'm almost done. 151 tackles, Luke Kuechly. We got 9.5 sacks done. Tyree Poe. Interception numbers, of course, sort by those. Jalen Ramsey, 3 picks, 3 for Honey. So, I mean, a lot of, you know, that's pretty good turnover numbers, all things considered. But everything else, not great here in year 8. Well, at least Brent Selleck did the Admiral thing and retired. So we're able to move up from pick 14 all the way up to pick 6 by packaging our first and second round picks to send to the Kansas City Chiefs. Reason why we do this is really the last year of the rebuild. You're not going to get a lot of rookies that make a little bit of impact, but you get 2 seasons. Maybe there's something there. We need a new tight end with Brent Selleck retiring. So, I mean, there's other guys we could probably reach for, but all things considered, wanted to move up, secure the services of T.J. Hockenson, our new tight end 1. So just look at our recap. T.J. Hockenson in the first round, 76 with the hidden dev. We got David Long, 70 in the third round. Greg Gaines, Travion Williams. Actually not. Scotty Miller, too. That's the one on the Bucks. A lot of speed. Not a bad draft, but obviously Hockenson is going to be expected to start and contribute and dominate right away and emerge as the safety net for Patrick Mahomes on this offense. The final extension period wasn't too crazy, guys, that we want to retain for the last year of this rebuild. I got T.Y. Hilton, Evan Mathis coming back on a 1 year. I think much like we've seen with Selleck, Trent Cole has kind of run his course there, unfortunately. But this also gives us with a nice little war chest of guys that we're able to sign to try to get one last Super Bowl if things don't go our way this season. Uh-oh, the Eagles have put it all together. Mahomes has figured it out. 13-4, we win the NFC East. That is our 5th NFC East title in 9 seasons, which, I mean, hasn't been ridiculously dominant, but it's been, you know, pretty freaking good, all things considered. Take a look at our stats here from year 9. Mahomes is God. I mean, he is on Superstar, so maybe with that, he'll get up to an X factor for the final year. 4,700 yards, 44 touchdowns. Absolute absurdity. 12-17 for LaShawn McCoy. 12-13 T.Y. Hilton. 1,008 for Matthews. 1,006 D-Jack. 13 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards on 92 catches for T.J. Hockenson. Having an elite tight end really opened this offense up. 157 tackles. 4 picks for Luke Kuechly. 10 sacks for Bobby Wagner. Using him this year again a little bit more. You know, I almost would think, you know, equated to Jamal Adams and how he's used. It's like, you know, linebacker safety, but he's really good blitzing. So that's kind of what we utilized him there this year. And he excels because we can have Jordan Hicks do the covering with Luke Kuechly and have Bobby Wagner kind of patrol the middle of the defense there a little bit. Looking at the yearly awards, Mahomes might have won MVP. He did. We've had 2 different MVPs in this. I got to write that down here. Make the final Mahomie MVP. Let's go. So we have 1 MVP for Mahomes. We had 3 MVPs for Michael Vick. So the quarterbacks that we've had under center here for the Philadelphia Eagles have been absolutely sensational. Look at the rest of the awards. Quarterback of the year does go to Mahomes. Alignment of the year goes to the great Jason Kelce. And with that, we're going to be able to kick our feet up. First round bye. And we're going to try and win our 3rd Super Bowl of the rebuild. As you see there, we also had $38 million of salary cap. So if things don't go well this year, we get one and done. We get dusted in the Super Bowl. Whatever. We will have enough if there's 1 or 2 big fucking one and done. God damn it. $40 million. We're going to be able to be aggressive if there's a big name on the open market to try to put this team over the top for the 10th and final year of this rebuild. Unreal. Mahomes still stuck on Superstar. Wins the MVP. Can we Madden 23? I know we're getting pretty close. Can we patch in if you win MVP, you go up dev trade automatically? If you're not already an X Factor? That should be 100% obvious. That should be what happens. This seems to be working out well. If I preview our free agency sign, we're actually getting them. So I got Xavier Rhodes on a 1 year. Top bid. Not by a considerable amount, but top bid. $2 million over what the suggested is. But Joey Bosa, the man that we weren't sure, should we draft him? Should we draft Jalen Ramsey? He's on the open market. We desperately need a pass rusher to succeed Trent Cole. $46 million is the fair offer, which makes 0 sense anyways. So I've got ahead, went 57. That doesn't get it. I don't know what would. Actually went back and I made it, instead of 57 mil, 46 was recommended. I went up to 60. Still gave me the middle finger. Guess getting, you know, it's trying to get me ready for Madden 23, where free agency is going to be a lot more harder, a lot more difficult to sign guys. But, you know, we got Rhodes, so the secondary is on point. And we're going to go into this draft really just looking for a pass rusher. Of course, this is a draft class that had Chase Young and then a massive gap between the next best pass rusher. So, go with the only first rounder out that might have a dev and that's Marlon Davidson. He doesn't even have a dev trait, so we'll be down a pass rusher. We won't have a complete team for year 10. And for our final draft recap, wasn't the best. Wasn't the best. Wasn't the worst. Wasn't the best. So here's a look at our lineup for the 10th and final season of this Eagles retro rebuild. On the offense, you got Armstead, Mathis, and Kelsey both going the full 10 years. Jonah Jackson popped with a superstar dev, which is kind of crazy, but he's not starting. Colton Miller. Hockenson popped with an X factor, I think. Either way, I don't know how he got that. I'm not going to complain one damn bit. We got Mahomes, 92, won the MVP, 44 touchdowns last year, first in the league, did not go up dev. So I'm kind of like, that's why with Hockenson, we'll kind of take like, all right, he didn't get it, but Hockenson got a dev trait, so we'll take that. Someone on offense got upgraded. We got Shady going the full 10, Deshaun Jackson going the full 10, T.Y. Hilton, and Jordan Matthews at wide receiver. Defensively, now we don't have a pass rush, but you know, when we run a lot of subsets, so we'll have Bobby Wagner be that rush edge with Brandon Graham, so I don't think we'll feel that hit too much. We got Dontari Poe, Eddie Goldman, BG, obviously doing the full 10 seasons. Hicks is up to an X Factor. Kuechly and Wagner, what a draft that was. Prior, we got Vaccaro, Honey Badger, Jalen Ramsey, and Xavier Rhodes, who we just signed last offseason to try to put us over the top to win another Super Bowl. See, look, we'll have Wagner. We'll move Dontari Poe to D-tackle. We'll have Brandon Graham be the right rush end. Kuechly, Rhodes, Matthews, Shady. This is a Super Bowl winning team. Let's go get our third Super Bowl of the rebuild. In the year 10, we couldn't get another divisional title to tack on. The Commanders had the tiebreaker somehow, but 12-5 for our 92 overall team. I've seen a lot worse. I'm not going to be too, triggered, too upset about anything like that. It is what it is. Taking a look at the stats, Mahomes absolutely regressed, unfortunately, from last year. Still a solid year. 38 touchdowns, 4,400 yards. 12-13 for Shady. Deshaun going over 1,000. Jordan Matthews going over 1,000. Solid year from Hockenson and T.Y. Hilton. Defensively, Luke Kuechly continues to be a tackle machine. 15 sacks for Bobby Wagner in his new hybrid role. Excelling. 13 sacks BG. 11 from Dontari Poe. 5 picks from Jalen Ramsey. You'll love to see that. We'll quickly look at the yearly awards. We'll also look at the career stats of a lot of these guys who have spent majority of their career and or were straight up drafted by us, just to see where they're at. Looking at the award winners, nothing outside of DB of the year going to Jalen Ramsey. He's already an X Factor, so it's not like we can really gain too much there. Patrick Mahomes has only been a 2-year starter. 3-year starter? 2-year starter? 3. This would be year 3, so 109 touchdowns, 31 picks. We have on the rushing front, 12 and 14 there for LaShawn McCoy. Hall of Fame number. That's an interesting one, though. Do you guys think Sean McCoy, when all's said and done, will make the Hall of Fame? I think he will. I don't want to say that's too biased as an Eagle fan, but I think, you see some of these guys going to the Hall of Fame. Not shots fired at Tony Baselli, for example, because that's just a draft class the Hall of Fame class that we just saw. But he played 6 years, and he made the Hall of Fame as an outstanding tackle for the Jags. 6 years! That means he pretty much played his rookie contract and then one more year and then retired due to injury. Still made the Hall. So if guys like that are making the cutoff, I think someone like LaShawn McCoy, who's quite prolific, should make the Hall of Fame. On the receiving front, we have 11,000 yards, 79 touchdowns for Deshaun Jackson. Jordan Matthews has been with us for 6 seasons since we drafted him. 6,600 yards, 61 touchdowns. So that's averaging 1,010 touchdowns a year, which is outstanding. On the defensive side, we had Luke Kuechly from the get-go. And through 8 seasons, 1,200 tackles, 20 picks, 58 TFLs. Bobby Wagner, 900 tackles, same draft class, 77 TFLs. Obviously, a lot more sacks because we kind of used him in that role a little bit. 15 picks, absolute beast. Vaccaro, 12 picks for us. Brandon Graham going over 100 sacks, 78 sacks for Dontari Poe. A hell of a career for a guy that was our consolation prize after he missed out on Fletcher Cox once upon a time ago. So very happy with all those players' numbers. Now the only thing that can kind of finish this video right is to go on a legit run. So we start off in the wild card round against the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton and company, we handle them 38-21. Next up is the Chicago Bears, a team, especially early on in this rebuild. They were a thorn in our side and still remain it. I think they've knocked us out of the playoffs twice. That would be the 3rd time. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Them damn Chicago Bears had to end this rebuild on a salty note. Well, yeah, I hope you guys still enjoyed today's video. Had a little bit of fun here as an Eagle fan. Took some liberties to at least to the point of, like, if we could make our team ridiculous in the draft. I did, you know, with Mahomes, when we got him. We traded up. We're aggressive in getting TJ Hawkinson. We were aggressive in trading up to get Jalen Ramsey. First draft, we had our 3 first-round picks, Dontari Poe, Luke Kuechly, Bobby. We had some fun. We had some fun here. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, let me know in the comment section below. I think, even though I'm absolutely livid and I cannot wait to stop having to play Madden on my PC, at least for a minute when I hop on to Madden 23, because my PC Xbox controller is what we call it. It is just absolute pain in the ass. But I think I could probably get one more retro rebuild in. So whatever team is the most upvoted or whatever, the top of the comments, I think we'll squeeze in at some point later this week another retro rebuild, if that's what you guys want to see. Thank you very much for the support. I'm so excited for the beginning of Madden 23 season. We are, I guess I could say right now, we are going to have a main channel franchise. We're going to have rebuilds. And I think I'm pretty confident we're going to have pink slips, a pink slip series running alongside all that. I feel 3's healthy because, you know, you could do Monday rebuild, Tuesday main channel franchise, Wednesday would be, you know, some form of either pink slips or I want to make a Madden-related content. And then we're back. Rebuild on Thursday. Friday's a new episode of Main Channel Franchise. Saturday, Sunday, Madden-related content, be it pink slips or something. Like, that's a healthy schedule. I don't like having 2 series going on because it feels like it's too quick of a turnaround, especially rebuilds. They take so long to make. So I guess that one little sneak peek ahead of Madden 23. I think we're going to be doing 3 series right out the get-go. I know some people are talking and hyping up Face of the Franchise. Out of principle, I might not check it out, but if it is really good, I'm not just going to be stubborn. If it is good, I might take a little gander in that direction, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. So either way, again, let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see next. Hit that subscribe button. Helps out the YouTube algorithm. Helps out the channel more than you know. And I'll see you guys back here in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out, and I love you.